Sometimes life gets hard, and I don't know where to start. Sometimes I feel like a failure, but that's not what's in my heart. I think about my little babies, and I begin to smile. Then I pull myself together and try to write another line. As a woman, I know my worth. I know my worth. Yeah, I'm gonna make it. Gotta follow my dreams. Put myself first. Oh yeah.
Hey y'all, how you doing? Welcome to the Journey of Womanhood. I'm so excited on tonight. Listen, before we go to our guests, I need y'all to share this video, tag a girlfriend, tag one of your sis, because we're gonna have a great time tonight. We have an awesome guest on tonight. We have Ayana Crawley. I'm so excited that she's here with us on tonight. Listen, I need y'all to share, tag, do what you need to do as we go into talk to Miss Ayana Crawley. As you all know her, Sunday's Best winner. She won Stella Award. She's an awesome, amazing singer. And also she's an amazing woman, just overall. So listen, you all don't forget to tag, don't forget to share, invite one of your girlfriends as we get ready on tonight as we talk to Miss Ayanna Crawley.
Ayanna Crawley is a 2009 Season 2 winner of BET's Sunday Best. She is a native Washingtonian, product of DC Public Schools, and a proud alum of Eastern High School. While she was a student at Eastern, she was a member of its award-winning choir and mentored by the director, Dr. Joyce Garrett. Her love for music and heart for people are what keeps her motivated and dedicated to her gift. Ayanna has sung background vocals for a variety of artists, to include Genovia Jeter-Jones, Glenn Jones, Raheem DeVaughn, Angie Stone, Chrisette Michele, Jennifer Lopez, and Lettucey. Her debut release, The Promise, features production from the award-winning team of Lou Busta Brown and Scott Shavoni Parker, who are also responsible for hits from music industry veterans Kirk Franklin as well as Yolanda Adams. This release debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Gospel charts, and Ayanna won the coveted Stellar Award in 2012 for the Best New Artist of the Year. Ayanna has appeared on OWN Network's Greenleaf and a Question of Faith film in 2018. She is currently worshiping and serving at Global Impact Ministries in Atlanta, Georgia, serving under Pastor Spence. Ayanna has dedicated her time over the past year to her life's memoir, a book entitled Pieces of Me, Pieced Together by You, that's now available. Ladies, please welcome to the stage, Ayanna Crawley.
Hey, girl.
Hey, sister. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I am doing well.
Listen, we are so excited, and you are here with us on tonight to talk about your book, to talk about your journey.
Yes.
You have so much to talk about, lady. Your journey to me is amazing.
Thank you.
And first, let's talk about this book. I don't know if you all know, but Ayanna, she has a book called Pieces of Me, Pieced Together by You. I thought that the title is just amazing, and you all need to go go get on Amazon and get this book right here. This book right here. You all go get the book. I've been reading it. I'm not finished yet, but I'm telling you, it is a page turner. So tell me, what was your inspiration to write the book?
Oh, wow. So I've always written journals. Always. I love poetry. I love to write. Even if it's just a one-liner, whatever God gives me, I write it down. So at the time, I had just moved to Atlanta. Y'all know my DC people say, "Oh, you just switched up," but I had just moved to Atlanta, and I always said, and I said it in my book. That was the time that God had forced me to face me, and which means I had to really face who Ayanna was. Like I didn't have the familiar around me. Yeah, I had a little bit of family in Atlanta, but I didn't have my core people around me. So it's like I couldn't hide beneath that. I couldn't hide the listen band or my familiar people that I was around. So I really had to force. I had to face myself in Atlanta. And so I started just writing how I was feeling, where I was at the time. And of course, music is a big part of me. So even in my book, I write different songs with different pages to where I was or different stages in my life. And so it took me until about 2017, 2018, when I was set down because I had to get surgery on my foot. So God was like, "You ain't doing nothing else, so you might as well just finish writing this book." And I was like, "Book? Like, what do you mean? I never thought of myself as an author." But like I said, I've always written poetry, always written just one-liners or just little storylines. And so when I started looking at myself, I was like, "Yo, like this is a book." And so I remember sitting at the table, and I said, "God, I said, if you want me to release this book, it has to be something unique, because I'm not an author. I'm not going to sit here and try to write these big words. I just want something that people, my peers, my women, the women that may have gone through the same thing." So when I was sitting at the table, he showed me a vision of me and my grandfather together. And then my grandfather taught me how to put puzzles together. I love puzzles to this say. And he said he would always tell me, all right, let's look for the flat edge pieces because we got to build the border around it. And then each piece you put in there is going to create the picture. And I say,
Mhm.
that's it, God. And the puzzle pieces of me pieced together by you, and you is God.
Mhm.
So, and I wrote in the book that the border is your foundation. That's God. And
Yes.
each piece that you put together are your puzzle pieces to the life. And my grandfather said, every time you put a piece together, it may not always fit. He said, but you just keep trying until you get the perfect one to fit. So that's why I said pieces of me pieced together by you.
And I thought it was
Yeah.
ingenious that you made it a 21-day interactive. That's the part that I love the most. It's an interactive journal, devotional memoir that can kind of. I mean, I related to it a whole lot. And in
Thank
reading your
you.
book, I love the part when your first day you jumped right in. You said dealing with the inner me, like you didn't have no fluff, you didn't have no filter. You jumped right in dealing with the
Yeah.
inner me, and I thought that was awesome. So recognizing that your grandparents, your granddad, and your grandma was a big impact in your life growing
Yeah.
up. So let's talk about that just for a minute.
Yeah, they were just, I grew up in Oklahoma Place, Southeast, so my family was really, really close knit. I grew up right
Mhm.
next door to my father's mother and father, and then right 2 streets over, like 2 blocks down, was my mother's mother and father. And
Mhm.
then the whole area, the Jeters and the Cheeks and the Daniel, we kind of like dominated that 53rd and Carl Place, Bitter Road kind of area. So my whole family was there. So even in my book, I said, I'm a city girl with country culture. And my
Yes.
mother's mom and dad, they were like, ah, they were just, I mean, not to say that my father's mom and dad they took
Right.
very good care of me, because like I said, but my mom's mom and dad, they were my sweethearts. They were the
Oh.
ones that, my grandfather called me Yanni Poo. My grandmother, she had wigs, she had furs, she had diamond rings, all type of perfume. So it's just like
Mm.
I was being groomed as a young diva at a young
Yes.
age, you
Yes.
know. So so I learned how to sit and walk and etiquette and all of that's
That's
from my
what I'm talking about.
grandmother's, both of them, and my grandfather's. My father's father, he was a fisherman, he went out fishing, so I learned so much from both
Yeah.
sets. They played a
That
very,
foundation.
very big part of my life, and I can just say that my life was, I can't complain. I mean, I've seen some trying times, but I can't complain. God has been good throughout my whole life, from my childhood up until now.
And I know your whole family sings, like everybody.
Yes. Yep.
So I would love to be at a cookout over y'all. I mean, like talent shows and everything. I'm sure you all just had a ball.
Yeah, I
Um,
always say those were my first stages in my audiences,
mhm,
because I
mhm.
was groomed in that, because
That's
everybody sings.
right.
Yep.
That's right. And I'm telling you, it works. I'm telling you. So let's fast forward.
Hmm.
I know that you went to Eastern High School, and you were groomed there. You were in the choir the whole time you was there. So tell me about your mentorship there at Eastern.
Oh man, Dr. Joyce Garrett, she is a phenomenal woman. She took inner city kids and she taught us classical. She taught us jazz. She taught us Negro spirituals. She taught us
Mhm.
not to be just a one-dimensional singer. And I'm so glad
Yes.
that God saw fit that I went to East, even though my uncle wanted me to go to Duke Ellington. But I'm glad I went to Eastern, because I believe I received the same amount of teaching that I would have at Duke Ellington.
Hmm.
But when I tell you, she took us and she groomed us, she prepared us. And again, I learned etiquette, because she said, you're not going to get up here, you're not going to look no any kind of way. We were poised.
That's
We
right.
had to dress the part. We had to
Hmm.
look the part. We had to stand the part. And she did. And her mantra was excellence without excuses. And I'm so
Mm.
glad that I
That's
was
good.
groomed up under that, because it carried me over into my performance life now, into my ministry life now, into how I show up when I do have to go minister, or when I have to go talk to these young girls, and how I present myself even on social media, because there's a level of excellence that we have to have. And yes, I'm human and I may fall short at times, but
Yeah,
when
we all do.
I'm presenting myself in the ways that I'm always thinking about Dr. Joyce Garrett, or I'm always thinking
Hmm.
about my aunt Genovia Jeter when I saw her on TV, or I'm always thinking about my grandmas as they carried themselves as women. So I'm just very I'm just very glad that I had that teacher from Joyce Garrett to sing, to be poised, to be educated, to be intelligent, and all of that. Show up without excuses every time.
You know, just me watching your whole career, even before Sunday's Best, just how you know, presented yourself just in the pulpit while you were singing, even with listen, even with, you know, singing when you were singing the Aretha Franklin thing, girl. I
Yeah.
was like, if this girl don't be in a Aretha Franklin movie and be Aretha Franklin and sing that Aretha Franklin song, something's gonna happen. But just watching just watching all of that, you always, and these were different genres of music,
Yeah.
but you still gave your heart and soul. You
Yes.
could, because I used to, one thing you don't know that I used to say about you, I said that girl could sing Mary Had a Little Lamb and kill it, and we feeling the thing, like, you know. So
Uh,
because you put your heart and soul into your music, and
yeah.
that foundation with your family and then in school really overflowed for you,
Yeah.
you know, as an adult. Now, and it just reminds me of your and I can't remember what day it is in your book, but you said my walk, my way, God's
God's
approval.
approval.
And I said, oh man, you know, that's it right there, you know, and that tapped into whatever genre of music you are singing. You're singing, you putting your heart and your soul into that thing. So I think it really makes a difference. Now, I saw in your book that you said that at one time you were dealing with anxiety. Um, and it started, but you had to start aligning your mind, body, and soul daily. So can you just talk to us about that briefly? Because I'm sure it's a woman out here that's dealing with the same thing.
Before, you know, we grow up in the black church or the church period in Christian culture, and a lot of mental health and a lot of wellness is not talked about. Well, now we're becoming more aware,
Yeah,
but
now
back
we are.
then, you
Yeah.
know, all we had was, oh, pray about it. Oh,
Yep.
let's go to the altar. Let's leave it at the altar. But we
Yep.
never had the practicality behind, okay, well, once we go to the altar, when we leave the altar, what should we do? What is our
Yes.
daily things that we should do in order to renew our mind? Yeah, I heard that
Yes.
scripture, be renewed in your mind daily. Yeah, I heard that. But tell me how to do that.
That's
Tell
right.
me so I won't feel this anxiety. Tell me how to do that so when my mind gets to racing and I'm home by myself or I'm dealing, you know, I was a young mother at 17 and
Mhm.
then I had my second
Mhm.
son at 30. When I'm dealing with feeling like I'm a failure because I wasn't married and I had these kids out of wedlock and I haven't accomplished X, Y, and Z, tell me how to deal with that.
Yes.
So in my book, when I was dealing with this pressure, to whereas again, when I got to Atlanta, I was forced to face me. So it
Yeah.
was like God wanted me to feel all of this weight. He wanted me to feel all of this weight, but he wanted me to depend on him. So I had to start. I said, okay, it's taboo to say, okay, I need a counselor. I need to go see somebody because you
Mhm.
don't want to be deemed crazy.
Come
You
on
don't
here.
want to be deemed. You don't want to be deemed. Oh, is something wrong with her? She's going to sit on somebody's couch. She's going to see a
Mhm.
psychiatrist. She may even have to take a little meds. No,
Mhm.
but it's going to help me because
That's right.
now I'm setting myself in a position to whereas I'm doing this for myself, I'm intentional about it. So when I'm
That's
being intentional about it and I'm doing this and I'm doing the work is going to work for me. Let me say that when you do the work, that work is going to work for you.
mm,
So once I start doing that work and starting adding scriptures on top of it, be anxious for nothing, anxiety, being anxious for nothing, but
mm,
making your requests known unto God, and He's going to help you daily walking this thing out and going seeing your therapist, and if you
that's
have to
right.
take meds,
That's
take your
right.
meds. So
That's
whatever
right.
it is that's going to align you back to where God wants you to be aligned to, because He
That's
said,
right.
"I am the way, the truth, and the light, and I come to give you life and abundance." So I want to walk in that abundance. So I got to do the work in order to get in that alignment.
That's it. That's
You
it.
know,
You said in your book, love and happiness starts with me.
starts
And
with you.
and I said, wow, I had to write that down because that touched me. You know, love and happiness
Yeah,
start with me. I have to make it. Love, happiness is a choice. You know,
yeah,
and
it is.
I'm so glad you talked about the anxiety piece because especially our culture
Yeah,
sweeps it up under the rug. You said it. Pray
oh
about it.
yeah,
Oh, you be all
yeah,
right. You know how we do, but we never attack it, and it's just it lingers and it jumps from one generation to the next.
yeah, yeah.
So my question to you is when you were at a place when you decided, let's talk about Sunday's best.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's just talk. Did because I read in your book, and I whether you tell it to me. I read in your book that you wasn't even really trying to go there first. That's not what that wasn't even on your mind. So let's talk about that.
That wasn't on my radar. You know, I was singing with Listen. I probably was still back and forth at the Holy Church.
Yeah.
You know, I had tried out for American Idol. They denied me. They look at me. They said, "Oh, you're beautiful. You have a beautiful voice, but it's not what we're looking for this year." Because you know they already have set in mind who they want, what their contestant, the winner is going to look like. So when Sunday Best came around, you know, BET was right over there by where I used to live at, right off of Rhode Island Avenue, right down the street.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Yanni, Sunday Best coming here. I think you should do it." I said, "Y'all got to be kidding me. Y'all know what I'm doing? I'm singing in a go-go band. I got two kids. I'm looking at all these strikes that I put on me. Not what I put on me. Well, I'm looking at the stuff that I'm putting on me, I'm keeping on me, and saying that I'm not qualified." Come on, somebody. You can talk yourself out of a God's blessing because you think you're not qualified. So I'm disqualifying myself even before I even put myself in a position to see if I was qualified. So I was telling people, nah, I ain't doing this. No, Sunday Best, man, I'm not Sunday Best, y'all. Do y'all understand? I'm up on the stage to listen and that. So anyway, the emails kept coming around. They was like, "Y'all need to do it." I waited to the last day. And I always said, my little angel, God always sends you somebody, a ram in a bush. My little angel was outside and he said, "I'm going to stay here until you get up because you're going to the Sunday Best." I was like, okay, whatever. I did dress the part. It was cold as I don't know what out there. I had on a leather jacket, a short sleeve shirt, some jeans, and some little boots. Yeah, but you know how cold it get in D.C.
Yes.
And all the people standing outside. I said, "God, if you want me to do this, you're going to have to move this line in because you understand I get sick quick. I get sore throats real quick." I said, "And if my throat is so, I'm not going to be able to stay." As soon as I said that, power work. God, so somebody came outside and was like, "Yeah, we're going to move y'all in the inside because y'all singers don't need to be outside." I said, "Here we go."
Oh, good.
So I said, "I guess I'm supposed to be here." So that whole process, me not wanting to go, but then God made it so that we moved into the building, then went through that whole, audition process, even had to come back the next day because it was an overwhelming of people and singers there. I mean, we were right in the central, so you had South Carolina, North Carolina, you had New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, everybody coming to D.C. It was over 2,000 people that auditioned.
Wow.
And I got the call back, okay? I got the call back, went to Atlanta, and still didn't even think that I fit the mold to be Sunday's Best. Got down there, went through the process because before we get the promise, we gotta go through a process, right?
Come on now.
Went through that process, and I remember going back to my room because they gave me grandma's hands and I cried. And I thought for sure that I was gonna be put off. I said, "Why are they giving me this mainstream song?" But now I know that's fast forward because he already knew that he could grace me in that lane because I can sing mainstream and gospel if people still respect, and I can still carry the cross in the lounge or in a church and still be respected, and God still be shown in me. So I remember going in my room and opening up my book, and it landed on Psalms 138:8. And I had never seen that scripture before. God wanted me to see it because it says, "He will perfect the very thing that concerns you." My concerns were, I'm not fit for this. God said, "Just go out there like he told Jeremiah." Jeremiah said, "I'm too young for this. I don't know what to say to the people." God told him, "Jeremiah, say what I put in your mouth. I will terrify you before them." So God said, do what I put inside of you. Go out there and give them what I've given you, and I'll do the rest. And that's just what I did. I wrote on that.
Oh, you did.
I came out with that season 2 Sunday Best winner. Thank God.
Listen, my family was watching you every week. Okay,
wow.
we was rooting. It was like a thing, we was rooting for you, and all DC was rooting for you. It was
DC.
Oh man, everybody.
DC came through so hard.
Yes,
they rode for me. That's why I ride. Look, they keep saying, "Are you a Georgia Peach now?" Nah, I'm keeping my number. I'm not changing my number. I'm still a DC girl, baby. Y'all better hear me.
I know that's right. Man, we were rooting for you so hard, girl. Now listen, I want our audience just to see just to see the magic of your ministry, of your gift, of what God has given you, in the gift of music and the gift of song. Just for a minute, y'all just watch this clip for just a second.
the promise down on us. The promise, the promise. Now I'm stepping in. Oh, everything else is worth it. Oh, yeah. The promise, the promise. The promise of yes, we can could change a lot more than a man. See the power of a dream, it changes things. Oh, yeah. Be growing, getting better. Is that the person they see? Don't tell them the things we've been through. And they build your muscle. And they're better than you ever been. They can't knock your hustle. Your faith ain't never small. That's what you come this far. Say you got your dreams and you got your prayers and you got your God. It'll take you out everything again you've been through. And I believe this one's yours. You've been working, praying, fasting. Oh, what you waiting for? Go get it, go get it, go get your blessing. Go get it, go get it. I'ma talk a little bit about my grandmother. Hey, yeah. Used to hand me a piece of candy. Pick me up each time I fell. Oh, that really came in handy. Johnny, don't you hit that boy. What you want us working for? He didn't come no alcohol, dog. I don't have grandma anymore. When I get to heaven, I look for grandma. Hey, yeah, yeah. Oh. Everybody doubted me. They said that it would never be everything you promised me. Oh, but the moment that I dreamed, I found some better company. That deep inside my heart, I know that you made me a promise. Jesus, you're the way and the promise. Miracles are raining down on us.
Woo! Girl,
Oh my gosh, you took me down memory lane.
girl, you sang. Listen.
Wow.
Okay, so another question I have, how surreal was that when you actually won Sunday Best? And let's talk about what happened after that.
So it was so surreal. I felt like I was dreaming. I felt like I was the 7-year-old girl back in my grandmother's, in my room at my grandmother's house. Can you still hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Back at my grandmother's house, he showed me two things. God showed me, I'm a dreamer and I'm a visionary. So God shows me these things from time to time. So he showed me, he said, I was just standing there and I could just hear the people's screams and things. So I knew that I was going to be of some influence. And then I knew that I was going to be a woman of family. But it was amazing. It was amazing feeling to me. And it just showed me that God keeps his promises. I can't even explain the feeling that I got when I found out. I found out that I won when I was at home in DC. We had a watch party. A lot of people thought that I knew that I won, but it was literally up to you guys to vote. And so that night that they announced, it was just like all of my family was there, my friends were there, my bandmates were there, everybody was there. I remember we were down at Ben's Chili Bowl, and it seemed like the whole place shook when they called my name. And I just broke down crying. Oh, and I can feel that feeling now because it was just amazing. And then after that, I had my ups and my downs, with the record business. That's the unfortunate thing about winning contests like that. And, you know, sometimes business can be a little shaky a little bit. Not
Yeah.
that they didn't do what they said they were supposed to do, but, you know, they did, but then they didn't.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm not mad about the part of what they didn't do, because I'm glad that God gave me the wisdom and he gave me the intelligence to keep relevant in this business and
That's
keep
right.
doing what I'm doing. And that's just being me and who he created me to be. It ain't about no flashy stuff or
That's
nothing, but
right.
I really am trying to touch the heart of women and really just trying to live this human, you know, this human life in this hard world, you know, and keeping my faith and staying close to God. So I've been able to, you know, drop some singles and, you know, of course, being on movies. And Atlanta has afforded me that, being closer to my craft and being in and of it. So I just thank God for the journey. And it's not over yet. And I'm still, you know, peaks and valleys. But I'm, you know what, as long as I got my children, I'm good. And
I
my
know that's right. I,
family.
I know that's
Yeah.
right. Now, we have a little bit technical difficulties. They can't see you, but we can hear you. But we're gonna keep flowing.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
No, it's
Let y'all
okay.
know it's not her fault. I'm traveling, so I'm on the road to South
No,
Carolina. It's not her fault.
you working. But the blessing about it, even though we have our pits and valleys, and that's just part of
Uh-huh.
life. There you are. Even though we have our pits and valleys, our peaks and valleys, and that's just a part of
Uh-huh.
life on how we when we go through our
Yeah.
process. And that's one thing I loved about your book. You talked about the process. You talked about
Yeah.
the process. You made a declaration in your book that said, "I am sound, I am whole, I shall not fear." And that was like powerful, because you're declaring who you are. And even though things might come my way, I'm good. I'm not gonna fear. I'm gonna go through my humanity, of course, but you know what the outcome's gonna be, because God got you covered. Now I recognize that I didn't know was that you were on Greenleaf and a question of faith. How did that happen? And tell us about that experience.
Terrible. This is terrible.
Can you hear me?
Try one more time, sis.
Okay. I said that what
I
I
hear you
didn't
now.
know.
Try me one more. Say it again.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? 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 Crystal laughing at me. Yanni. Okay. I think she's in the bed.
Oh,
Oh, there she
come on.
go. Can
Come
you
on.
hear me
Come on.
now?
There
Can
I
you hear
am.
me
Oh,
now?
yes. Okay. Ask me. You say you did not know. Yes.
What I didn't know, so you were on Greenleaf. You had an opportunity to be on Greenleaf as well as the question of faith. How did that happen?
Mhm. Being in Atlanta, just being connected. It's really, the business is about relationships. So I was in
Mhm.
Atlanta and they wanted Kurt Franklin to come on. I really needed a choir because he didn't have his regular people that he normally had with him. So one of his singers live in Atlanta also, and I'm really cool with her. And she put the choir together. She called me. She was like, "Hey, you trying to come to Greenleaf? On the set of Greenleaf?" And I was like, "Sure." And at the time, my son, where they taped Greenleaf, actually is over where Jamal Brown is New Birth. That's where my son was going to school at. So it was just like a two-for. I was like, I'm able to drop my son off, then go to work, and then I can pick my son up. I was
Wow.
like, heck yeah. Yeah. And so a question of faith, is just, again, word of mouth. I guess, how the Bible said, your gift will make room for you. My name was spoken
Right.
in at somebody's table, and got the call, and I was able to do that. That was one good movie that I loved.
I
And
like
I
that
was
movie
able to be,
too. It
yeah,
was
I was
amazing.
able to be on that set for um for a while, and just to see how things unfold and all of that good stuff. So it's just about me showing up and doing what you listen. I'm gonna tell you this like this. Your character, your talent can get you in the room, but it's your character that'll keep
Come
you
on
there.
now,
So
sis. You
I
tell
just
me.
believe, you know, like I said again, I'm not perfect or anything, but I just believe when I go, I do what I do. Because I had aunts and stuff that were already in the business and they grown me. They said, you go, you sing, you minister. If you're being paid, you get your money and you roll out. You don't
That's right.
fraternize with nobody. You own
That's
that.
right.
She said, your name is all you got. She always tell me, and let's keep it real. She said, you're a pretty girl. And she said, you got a nice shape on you. She said, don't let
Mhm.
these men get your name tainted in this business. And that's what it is. My name is good in this business, and I'm keeping it that way.
I know that's right. I mean, you've
Baby,
always been such a sweet spirit to me. I mean, and I've been knowing you for
thank you.
a many of years now. Now listen, then so God is just opening all types of doors. You at the right place at the right time, and then all of a sudden, this big opportunity to be on Coming to America too. I was like, and now that was we watching the movie. I was like, hold on, who's that? That is not Yanni. I was like, oh my god.
Oh
So
my
wait a minute,
gosh.
before you even let's just watch her on Coming to America too.
Oh yeah, I got the clip. Okay, go.
To be loved, to be loved. Oh, what a feeling to be loved. Someone to kiss, someone to miss. When you're away, to hear from each day, to be loved.
I will always do what is right for Zamunda. That is my oath as king. And I promise you, I shall always do what is right for our family. That is my oath to you, Lisa, my queen.
Oh, what a feeling to be loved.
Girl, when I saw you on that, you would have thought I was watching a baseball, football game up in here. I was like, what? What was going on? So let's talk about that opportunity and how did you feel being on the set with these giants like Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall? I mean, God. So
I
let's
was
talk about
right
that.
there. I was right there, girl. Eddie Murphy was like in the breathing. He was talking to me. He was like, how you know that song? This is an old song. I was like, to be honest with you, I said I played around with that song so much because of the first movie. And we was laughing and joking. And they were like, the people on set were like, y'all must be special because he don't talk to nobody. So it's
Oh,
just the
wow.
favor and the light that we carry. But again, opportunity. A girl that twins, a set of twins that I know. They sang background with my uncle, and we've been all the way to Africa and back, and we created a bond, a sisterhood. And they got the call because they knew the music director of that on that part, and I mean, well, of the movie, and told them to formulate a choir or a group. And I got called, and so happened when I was upstairs, they asked us to sing the whole song, and we actually, let me tell you how God worked. We were only supposed to be extras in the movie.
Oh,
End up being a part of the movie with credits and everything. That's how God worked. I'm gonna tell you how I spoke that day when we were riding up to Rick Ross mansion.
yeah. Yeah, I heard it was Rick Ross.
I
Yeah.
just feel like this is gonna be. I said I feel like this is gonna be a good day. I said we're gonna go in here. We're gonna be become more than just extras, and it happened just like that. The power of the tongue, y'all better know. I always gotta give y'all a tidbit when I'm
Yes.
talking. You gotta
Come
make
on
sure
here.
you speak life and not death in the
Come
tongue, because
on, girl.
that tongue can either propel you forward or push you backward. You better
That's
know
right.
it. You better know it. So it was just an amazing. That's just another thing I could put on my resume to just say God did that, because it's
Yes, you
just
did.
I didn't do any auditions. It happened.
Mm.
It happened. And again, I'm grateful for it. And that's not my voice. Let me dispel that, because there was a little thing. That's not my voice. Although I did sing it live, but because the pandemic hit, I
Yeah,
wasn't able to go do the overdubs. Nobody was flying at the time, so they had
got
to
it.
use who they had in the city that they were in. But
Right.
I still thank God it was my face on there, and
That's your face. That's it.
we both win it, both
That's
our
it.
names in the credit. So
That's
that was an
it.
amazing, 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 amazing
I
opportunity.
can imagine that was amazing.
Yeah,
I was super duper excited for you. When
thank
that was
you.
like an element of surprise. I did not expect that. Now
Yeah,
you said
yeah,
in your book, change only happens when you are deemed ready to embrace, accept it, and execute.
yeah. Because it starts with you.
That's right.
It starts with you and nobody else. And when you're ready to embrace and accept all of you and what they like, the serenity prayer, God, allow me to accept the things that I can change and help me to accept. No, what is it? Change the things that I can. What is it? What's the serenity prayer? I can't even think
Oh,
of
okay.
how
Oh, yeah. I know it, but I
accept the
don't know it. But I
things.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yes, I
basically
know
saying
exactly what you're
I can
talking about.
accept the things that I cannot change, but
Cannot
change the
change.
things. Right. Give me the
Things that
wisdom to change
right.
the things that I can. So it's just like when you look at you, if it's something that's physical you don't like, then what we need to
That's
do,
right.
we need to get
That's
to work with start to eat healthy and
that's
start to
right.
get in the gym and start to do. If it's something that it's something that you can change, it's like, okay, sis, let's accept this. This is what I am. This is a part of me, and I'm just going to ask God to give me that grace. That's just like when Paul said, well, God, can you remove that thorn in my flesh? And he said, nah, if I remove it, then I think you're going to think I think you're gonna think you're a little too high. So I'm gonna keep
Come
it there
on
so
now.
you will know that my grace is sufficient.
Come
You
on
know,
now.
you
Come
know.
on now.
So
Yeah.
it's just once you are ready, you embrace and then you execute. You just do it and you go unapologetically doing it. Don't
That's
worry about
right.
what, because I used to worry about what people. I ain't gonna lie. I used to worry about what people were gonna say about me.
Yeah,
You
so did
know,
I.
and I still have to. I still have to fight that off sometimes. I've
Yeah.
done it.
We have to
Okay.
remind ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah,
You have
I
to
do that.
remind yourself. And this
Yeah.
is a daily work. I know I said that in my
Hmm.
book too. This is
Yeah.
not something that, once you work on it, don't think it's not gonna come back. You're
That's
gonna have
right.
to face it again and gonna say, okay, I've come over this hurdle. So I know if I did this, if God did it before and I did it before, I can do it again. You know?
And lastly, as we wrap this up,
Uh,
I just first I want to say to you that you are a jewel, and I say that with my whole heart. You already know that.
yeah.
And you last thing that you put in your book, and I'm loving this book, y'all. Look, y'all need to get this book. I don't know what y'all doing. Go on Amazon, get the book.
Or they
It's
can
gonna
go
be
to my website,
oh, and on her website. Her
iamyadacrawley.com.
website is
Yeah.
really cute.
Uh-huh.
Got some real pretty pictures on her website of her. Listen, get the
Thank you.
book. Get the book. You're gonna get some nice, wise nuggets of wisdom in this book. This book speaks to the heart of women. You all have to get this book. Now, one thing you said um, in the beginning of this interview was that God always had you to journal and to write. As far as you can remember. And you said that you always had a love for writing and things like that. But you wrote something that I thought, and I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to ask you a question, and then we're going to um, go home. But you said, "Gracious is she, honor she attains, pitch seek of reality of royalty. The Most High she claims. She speaks with kindness, her heart so giving and pure." Gives freely of herself, in God she is assured. She carefully show she carefully she's careful how she walks, practical usage of her time. She is a woman of wisdom. Love is her core desire. And I thought that was beautiful. It explains who we are as women. It explains who you are as a woman. And I'm just so proud and excited about what God has for you next. He's done so much for you. And I just believe that's just the tip of the iceberg. I just believe that there is so much coming after this. If you were to speak to a woman tonight, and I know there are a lot of women on here watching, what would give them some encouraging words, because first of all, when they read your book, they're gonna be like, oh my God, I did not believe, I would never think that she
Yeah,
wrestled with certain things, because when we see you,
yeah.
especially in your flow, you're so confident. So what do you say to that woman that They see you, but they don't know what it took to get to where you are and what it's taken for you to stay where you are and to get further. So what would you say to that woman that wants to strive as well?
I just, what I wanted, like I said, my main goal for that book was to touch the heart of a woman, to let them know that, hey, I am you too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I feel that too. Hey, I've been brokenhearted too.
Yeah.
Hey, I've aborted children too. Hey, I've said some things I wasn't supposed to say too. So I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to let women know that I am a first human, and I too still love God, and God is still with me. But we still all have our own journeys. Don't ever
Mm-hmm.
covet your sister. Don't ever look at her and just be like, oh, I want to be like, because you never know what you like when you say, girl, I wish I could walk in your shoes. No, sis, because you may couldn't have stood in my shoes, and me
Come on here.
vice versa, mine yours either. But the beautiful thing about it is we all have different journeys, but our one commonality is that we are women and we share the same story. So
Yeah.
I want us to know that when sisterhood is about helping one another and not looking down on each other,
That's
because
right.
you don't know a person's life until you get to know them.
Yes.
And even if when you get to know them, you may find something in them that may resonate with you, and then that way that y'all can talk each other through. So I just say to that woman tonight, stand strong in who you are, find your village, let your village help you, let your village help to cultivate you and pull you through when you need to be pulled through, and just stand strong and firm in who you are, no matter what you've done, and no matter where you come from, does not disqualify you from where you're supposed to be going, because God
Yeah.
has a plan for you too. He has a
Mhm.
plan for all of us.
Listen, I want to thank you again, you for taking time out for us on the road, on your way
Word.
to working again, doing what you do best. Listen, you continue to keep striving, continue to keep soaring, sis. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what God is doing in your life. And I'm gonna continue to keep you in prayer and your baby boy. Well, they're grown now, but your boys in prayer as well as your family. I love you so much, and
Love you
thank you
too.
so
From
much.
day
So,
one.
listen, y'all,
From
we
day one,
had
you always been my big sis.
yes, I love you so much. You a
Love you.
sweetheart. All right, y'all. We had Yannick Crawley in the house tonight, y'all, and we had an awesome time. We will be here next week. And we will be ending our Women Behind the Music on next week. We'll be here same time, same place, 7:30. I see y'all then.
The weather